There's 4 annual meetings a year, and this will be one that'll be walked through next week to check license tags and that kind of thing. But first of all, if you don't know me, my name's Sherry Foster. I'm president of the HOA, and things will be a little bit different than been done in the past. I'll work with y'all any way I can to make sure you don't get 2 trailers in the same, like different owners in the same spot and things like that. Also, if the license plate tags do not match the registration, then we of course will try to get them moved out, because that's not fair, because some people sell their trailer. We got one boat in there particularly that we know was sold, and the trailer still has the owner living in Spring Hill, so that's been taken care of. And then there's a car hauler in there we don't know about or exactly who owns that, and that's in lot 25. Anybody here has 25. So we'll go over these rules. Well, first of all, this piece of paper here. We have to organize who's going to be president of the committee, and that's going to be, you already decided that, right? Yeah. Okay, Gil's going to be president. Who's the secretary? Margie, okay. All right, and then everything. Well, I'll go over some of the rules, but I'll read this page first. The annual meeting will be in October with 3 other meetings in January, April, and July. Summer for work to be announced. That'll be July through August for hurricane planning. A designated team member will review a proposal with SOP changes. That's the one that was sent last time when the committee met. That was before they got disbanded by Mark and the previous board. We'll look at those changes more. Okay, maintenance on your space while here or when leaving. Wood under wheels block, half below grade, and mowing, weed whacking. Remove trash and branches from when you're at the RV space. Okay. Let's see, measuring the width and length of all spaces in units to comply with SOG. Vote request for RV space must be received by the RVCC prior to assignment of spot. They're an Andrew County Sheriff's Department for trailers without plates and expired, completed. The vote in April and September have a designated day to witness and verify vehicles are stored roadworthy, clean, and safe. Each vehicle must have this done yearly. If the vehicle has excellent Brookridge in return, I won't read that. That don't make sense. Members of the RV committee shall be assigned in writing to witness the above. Okay. All right. What I've been doing since I became president back in March, I've been trying to straighten out the RV compound. Gil helped me move some trailers around. I got permission from the owners to move the utility trailers around because a couple of them got blocked. Been signing spaces right now. There's a waiting list, but it's not by like it used to be, because it used to be by if you needed space and you had a 5x8 trailer or something like that, you was given, like, if a space come available that was 50 feet long, you got that space. Trying to do it by size of unit, because that's wasted space. So it's just better, and we're trying to work my thought process is try to put, eventually gonna put, when people give up spaces, change, is to put all the boats on the outside and all landscaping trailers against the outside fence where Grove Road goes, and across the back where Hernando County Utilities own that property, and the front where the 500 is at when you first come in the gate. And then all the Class A's, Class B's, kind of in the middle, and larger spots, and the spots that people need for doubles in the middle, because we've known in the past that people get on, like some of the outside people, put like a ladder up against the fence, the outside fence, and they put it up against the RV that's parked too close to the fence, and they climb the ladder to get on the RV, and then climb down the ladder of the RV to steal something out of the RV compound. But I'll read this right here. A member or renter may store permitted items within the RV compound provided they comply with the conditions and restrictions set forth in this article. Brookridge is not responsible for any theft or vandalism that may occur to any unit in the RV compound. And this is the RV rules, and it's Article 2, the RV compound. Okay, and it says, let's see, all such incidents must be reported to Hernando County Sheriff's Department by the unit's owner. Parking the RV compound is at the unit owner's risk. Only motor homes, travel trailers, boats, home trailers, recreational vehicles, non-commercial utility trailers, and car dollies will be assigned parking spaces in the RV compound. No storage of salvaged goods, steel, building materials, appliances will be permitted. Section B. As used herein, the term unit shall refer to the permitted items above. Members shall name the owner of record, whether one or more person or entities of title to any address in Brookridge. Renter shall name and refer to persons leasing or renting a home in compliance with rental restrictions set forth herein under the valid and binding rental agreement and assignment of use as such document is established by BCPO from time to time. Any member desiring to park a unit in the RV compound must complete and sign a BCPO RV compound registration form. The party requesting the parking spot must acknowledge that they have received and will abide by the BCPO rules, regulations regarding the RV compound, and must also sign a waiver agreement provided by the BCPA. In addition to the requirements imposed on the member, any renter within Brookridge desiring to park a unit in the RV compound must submit documentation signed by here or her leaser, which revokes a leaser's privilege to use the RV compound. Additionally, both renter and the leaser must sign the waiver agreement. Any member who revokes his or her privilege to use the RV compound shall not be assigned a parking space in the RV compound. Parking space in the RV compound is issued on a first-come, first-served basis. A waiting list maintained if and when the need arises. This is F. Parking space in the RV compound shall be assigned to a unit owned by a member or live-ins in good standing or properly registered renters. No member can rent or assign their parking space to another. Section G. Once a parking space is assigned, BCOP will provide each unit owner with a decal indicating the assigned parking space number for the unit while the unit is parked in the RV compound. This decal must be placed on the driver's side unit in a manner which is fully visible from the compound road when leaving the community. Section 8, property owners may only be assigned a maximum of one parking space in the RV compound, regardless on the amount of lots owned. Parking space is assigned, it says assigned for 1 year periods and must be renewed annually. Renewal shall be deemed complete when a current or renewed copy of the unit's restoration is presented to the office. If a unit owner fails to renew his or her unit in the time allotted by the BCPO, the unit owner will be required to remove the unit from the RV compound. If the unit owner fails to remove the unit in the time allowed by the BCPO, the BCPO shall have the unit towed at the unit owner's expense. If a unit, section J, if a unit member or renter replaces the unit listed on the restoration form, the member or renter is required to complete a new restoration form and submit required documentation to the office. The restoration of the new unit may result in being assigned a new space because of the size. BCPO has the authority to require the unit owner to move or relocate their unit to another site to facilitate better use of the RV compound space. Section 2A, all units must have and maintain a current license and restoration in the member or renter's name. Restoration renewal must be submitted to the BCPO office within 60 days of renewal. All units must be operable. The unit must be roadworthy and demonstrate it can be moved under its own power or be towed if the unit is a trailer. The BCPO may require the unit owner to demonstrate that the unit is operational on a biannual basis. Section C, units shall be only parked in their assigned parking space at least 30 inches off the fence line. If the unit is covered, the unit must be securely fastened, maintained in good condition, and shall not hold water. No units, section E, no units shall be used for storage of items that are not normally stored within the same. For example, items associated with water sport, such as life vests may be stored in the boat, but lawn equipment shall not be stored in the boat. Section F, for sale signs are prohibited on any unit or elsewhere within the RV compound. Section G, unit owners shall keep their assigned parking space clean and free of debris and garbage, including when the unit is removed from the parking space. Properly stored parking blocks are permissible. All units have fully retractable steps on the slide outs. Section 8, all debris, work materials, skids, wood, household items, and tires, other than those properly affixed to the unit, shall be removed from the RV compound. This includes, but shall not be limited to, items on the ground or in a utility trailer. No storage or salvage goods, steel, building appliances will be permitted. Section 9. Unit owners shall be responsible for any damage to BCPO property, including but not limited to RV fence caused by a unit owner or his or her unit or other permitted vehicle. Section J, a unit owner may park a personal vehicle in his or her own space in the RV compound while the unit is in use. For example, a member may park his car in the assigned parking space in the RV compound while he is traveling in the RV. However, the unit owner shall submit a BCO a copy of the registration of the vehicle left in the assigned parking space. Section K, unit owners shall provide their own liability damage theft insurance. BCPO is not liable for any loss or damage to units stored in the RV compound. L, site markers are not to be moved without approval of the RV compound committee. Section M, owners must keep their units clean and free of mold on the exterior. Section 3, it says violation, but the violation will be, says any violation of the RV compound rules and regulation will be handled with Article 6, Section 7, and Article 7, enforcement of the rules and regulations by code enforcement. Okay. So, has anybody got any questions about any of these rules I read? Go ahead, right here.
I traveled with a horse shoulder for lot 44.
Hang on a minute, let him get the microphone so they can ask the question, so they can hear.
I had a travel trailer on lot 44, Coleman,
Okay.
and they sent me a notice that they wanted to own it. So I already had the lot, and I talked to Carol, and she said, "Oh, yeah, you're correct." And I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "I know who you are." So I sold the travel trailer by the motorhome, and I parked it in lot 44, where
Okay.
my spot. I don't know if that's the right place to be or not.
Okay, I had a question, I'm glad you answered that. I'll ask it later from you in private, but, yeah, I was wondering where the other one came from, that's right. So, okay, go ahead, Gil, you got a question? Yeah.
It's not a question, but a comment. People need to understand that if they buy a house in here, or they sell a house in here, that the RV compound unit lot that you have does not go with the
That's
sale of
correct,
the house.
it does not go with the house, that's right.
I know a couple of people that have that issue.
That's all part of the process about changing,
Yeah.
changing everything.
That's about fixing things there.
Anybody else on the list?
Anybody else over here?
I got a question.
Okay, on the right?
Okay, but that, I don't need that.
No, I need to have a discussion.
Well, they won't have no trouble here. But anyway, our numbers, they renumbered all in the front to try and make more space.
Right,
Well, mine is like 150, that's my number. Now, they didn't change the island, the other numbers, in the back.
Right.
You pull in, but my front is not matching anymore.
that's right, I was
So-
in your space, actually, I seen your space today,
Is there any
Because
problem with
there was-
us changing them?
Those numbers don't match.
No, the numbers on the drive
They need
don't
to be corrected.
match your other numbers.
That's right, they need to be corrected.
So, can we do it ourselves?
well, Gil,
Put our number back where it was at originally?
well, you're on 150, you're in 150, we can change the street, right,
Yeah.
Gil?
Yeah.
We'll fix the street,
I'm right next door on that 140.
okay.
Okay, so we are gonna address this?
Yes, we're gonna fix that, yes.
Okay, because I have no problem doing it myself, if you want, I don't mind helping.
No, all those numbers have to be renumbered.
The ones on the street,
On the
Yes.
street, yeah, but the ones in the back on the
that's the
station,
original.
those are good,
Yeah,
those are correct. So you come in on an angle towards your number, you're fine.
yeah, I have no problem with that, I just like to get the numbers straight.
Right, you're right.
Yeah, make sure that, when you back in, make sure that stop with the number on it is in your left-hand mirror. Cause that's confused some people already. They think they're living in they think they got one spot, when actually they're parked in the spot to the right. So that's something that has to be addressed too. And like I said, the violations that we had last year, where, we've got some trailers that has not been moved. We got some dealer tags in there. We know that during the last 6 months, or since January or February, we do know it's not been like upkeep like it should. And people have been riding through there and they've been like, they see an empty spot and they think they can just park one in there. So that gets confusing. That's why we need to have the walkthroughs and things like that. Because I've seen some that's there one day, maybe gone a week later. And I ride through there every day. So, I'm gonna move one tomorrow. I think Beverly's gonna let me, Brenda's gonna let me move hers tomorrow, so, to a smaller spot. So, like I said, most people that have been on the waiting list is about from April to now. If there's any that's older than that, it's because they filled out an application that got lost. It's the only way I can figure that, because that's the only, they must have filled it out when the previous board was looking at this thing and did not. So if you fill one out last year and you want a spot, I'm trying to get you one as fast as possible. That's all I can say to her. That's the best I can do. He said right here, did you fill out one last year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're probably the first one on my list, because,
I've been on so many lists, Jerry, it's just.
well, what you,
Jerry, yep, we're good though. I understand, this is a time of flux, we're good.
so you're definitely on there. So, like I said, if y'all have any problems or anything about any spots, or if you want a larger spot, like Brenda needing a smaller spot, I got one that's probably, what's in is too big for the spot. So anything like that, and anything you see violation wise, you're not gonna get, well, I don't care, it's gonna be ignored. I just think that, because I have a trailer and I'm a seller, so, if I see it, I'm gonna try to take care of your problem. So bear with me, because sometimes I can't answer everybody's phone call or return it, but I do pay attention, I do listen, and, everything. And I'm like most of you, as like last year when they were going to try to pass an RV compound fee, when I always said I believed it was amenity, you're not gonna get me to vote for anything having to do with that, because I don't think that a small amount of people should like carry a large amount. So I will say that should be done with donations. And if you clear up things like trailers not been moved in a while, or they don't have a registration, or they got like dealer tags on them, which they shouldn't have, and things like that, the best thing to do is just get them out, move them on, because that's the ones taking advantage of those hardworking people. So if you got any questions, you can keep still. Anybody else? She got one back there. She got the microphone.
Okay, scenario is you have a homeowner who owns a vehicle and a pickup truck and has now acquired a second vehicle. The property owner's driveway is a single driveway that will not accommodate 3 vehicles. So now we're in the process of playing first in, last out, because whoever goes to bed last, they need to be out first.
Right.
You have to play hopscotch with your truck. So my question is, do we want to maintain the truck in drivable condition, registered, plated? So if I have to go to Home Depot on the weekend, I have access to that pickup truck, but I don't really have room for it in my driveway at my residence. According to Article A, Section 1, as I read it, I'm not allowed to park a personal vehicle in the RV compound. Is that correct?
That's right, isn't it, Gil? Okay.
Unless you have an RV,
Yeah, that's the way I'm reading it too.
Unless you have what?
an RV.
RV.
Okay, so it's just to my own disadvantage that I own 3 vehicles and I don't have the property to park them.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Excuse me. My name's Joe Keating. I have lot number 43 next to the gentleman that's up there, 44. And the issue I have is lot number 40 is a trailer, a long trailer. And when they changed them to angle, the one at number 40, instead of going to the angle to the right, he has his more to the left, and there's 3 spots in between. One of them is mine, and if there's one more vehicle there, you can't get in and out because of that going on lot 40. And then-
Okay,
and
what
then-
kind of trailer do you have?
I think you call them box trailers. Is that right?
What's,
And cargo trailer, box trailer, it's 6 feet wide and 16 feet long with a D-nose.
okay, I need to look at that one, because maybe we can switch it with somebody.
You got a picture, she can show you later.
Okay,
And I've got a little note that you can have explaining it.
yeah, maybe we can find a spot where a utility trailer's at, that's easy to move around, like, you know, maybe a 5x8 or something that's in the spot.
Jerry, that 40, that big trailer there,
Yeah,
it shouldn't be on that lot. Because it's too big. Not him, but that big trailer he's talking about. It's too long.
oh, the one in spot 40, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the fifth wheel that's sitting there.
yeah.
Okay,
Jerry, I've got a couple of questions. Number one, it sounds like, and I used to walk the compound regularly with, I can't remember his name, I'm getting old, on Wednesdays. But yeah, there were a lot of things that were in slots that were just sized wrong, and it sounds like you're taking care of that.
yeah, I'm trying to do that in the best, like I said.
All right, the other question I have is, I have lot 16. I've got a 17-foot boat in it. My great nephew is gonna pick it up this weekend or next weekend, whenever he comes up from Naples.
Okay.
But I went to the office and told them I needed to apply for a bigger spot because I bought a 37-foot RV. Now, do I need to it's sure not gonna fit where the boat fits, I'll tell you that.
Right,
Do I physically need to fill out another form to do that?
yeah, I'll need to make a note of that, so I can, Fill
Okay,
that
then
out.
I'll just go to the office and pick another form
Okay.
up from Vivian and fill it
yeah,
out.
we put it in like the list of where,
Okay,
like, if one comes open on the, I want to say on that backside, not where the 100 through 117's at, but where, I guess, Gil, where yours was at, before was the doubles, not doubles.
225.
Yeah, that was doubles there, so we'd have to wait till double open, and we could give you a spot. You could put both of them in if you need to.
no,
Or
I'm
you
getting
just
rid of,
you want a second spot?
no, I don't want a second spot. I know it's only good for one spot, and I'm getting rid of the boat.
Oh, okay,
I have one other question. In the past, there's been a few of us who have always donated. And everything, to my knowledge, you know, we've got it, what is it, 5,000 or 10,000 the last time they said something. And my understanding is we paid for all the poles, we paid for all the lights, we paid the
Yeah.
electric bill. Is that how we're gonna continue to operate?
yeah, it's gonna be how it's continued, cause
Okay,
I don't know where the meter's at we looked at Billy's meter, which is on the building, but there's not one on the pole out there. Do you know where it is, Gil?
No.
Okay, cause I've not seen it, so,
Like you're right in front.
Up by the building?
No, it's,
when you pull in the gates.
when you pull the gate, we're probably, I think, that's sort of like, in that area, that's sort of like.
well, I think when I look at the bills for the electrical bill, it's probably in the street signs, that meter. So that meter is, let me just tell you an example. I guess they figure out what percentage of that because,
How many lights there is?
yeah, because it says that, let's see, I got it right here. Maybe I don't have it. It's basically about $7,000 a month, but they just take a percentage of that, how many light poles and things probably. But yeah, it'll be the same way, there's not gonna be no, I'm not gonna, you know, I don't believe in that fee stuff, so it's a minute to me, alright. What else got?
Okay, I got a 36-foot RV. We're gone for 3 months in the summertime. And when I come back this year, I had built PT lumber and put 4 platforms down to park my tires on. I buried them down so they can mow across them with mowers and everything else. When I come back, I found them platforms thrown up against the fence. Wasn't too happy about it. I've got them back down now and I've got to fix one, but why would they rip my platforms out of the spots?
Okay, well, what you, I've been handling that, so, it wouldn't be something I'd done. I don't think Billy would've done it, so it'd been somebody like used it while you was gone. I mean, that's the problem we run into. People have like I said, they park in there when it's all empty spot, and now that we know we're trying to fix things, it's like, that could be that issue.
Yeah, I put them down there for a reason, to park
Right.
on them, and that's the reason I buried them down so they can mow across them without a problem. I
Right,
have one to fix now that came apart. When I got back, they were just heaved up against the fence.
yeah.
Wasn't too happy.
Jerry, talking about mowing, is Billy gonna mow, or we're gonna be mowing it like?
Yeah, Billy's taking care of the mowing.
So Bill's gonna take the mowing.
Billy's taking the mowing over.
So, okay, because we used to do our own mowing, we used to clean it up before,
Yeah, he's been taking care of it this year.
all right.
Back there. It's going right here.
Yeah, we're one of those that, have been waiting over a year. But I don't remember, filling out a compound registration form. We just called it in and we're told that we were on the list.
Yeah, well, that's incorrect. You'll be filling out, let's see, I got fringes right here in front of me. I'll show you what it looks like. Well, I better ask your permission, is it okay? Well, I had it. Yeah. It's not in there, I don't think.
In any case, I can just run up to the office and grab one.
Yeah, you'll just need to fill out another form, and, if you think you put it in there last year, no, I'm sorry about that. It's like I said, it's been mass confusion since Mark got rid of the RV compound committee back in January. So nobody been looking after this, and then, of course, Carol has a lot of things she has to do. And, you know, I work on it when I can. I've been up there, like I said, almost every day, just moving around stuff, so. Not moving around stuff, but looking at stuff and help people get spots. So if I know about it, trust me, I don't forget stuff like that. So, any other questions?
One more question. We've been trying to, we solicited a compound, a unit, so we can clear out a carport a little bit. So is there any reason why, or is there a valid reason that we can't have the trailer in our own property in the back? And there's no houses behind us?
Yeah, it has to be in the carport, and there has to be a certain way
What's the
to land.
reason because of that?
It's just in the deed restrictions from the very beginning that no
Can that
utility.
be amended in any way?
You
Can
have
a
to get like,
petition be submitted?
you would have to get like, to petition that, for the homeowners to petition that, you have to be 10% of the members. And you have to get at least, let's see, is it 2/3 of the vote? Yeah. Have to go for it.
That's what I'm supposed
What's that?
Can I get a copy of the stuff you read off tonight?
Yeah, you can have my copy right here.
Just as the gentleman over there, I understand that's been waiting for a year. I know it's frustrating. When we moved
Yeah,
in,
that's what I read on.
we waited 6 months, and I understand your frustration. I have the room, but they want $7,000 to $10,000 to build an awning on the side of our house for my $500 camper. So like, I can't do that. I wish there was a solution I wish that we could find people in the winter that are gone, that would flip flop, do whatever. If I can move mine to a smaller spot for somebody, we're more than willing.
Yeah, I have a spot 109, and Dave has a spot that has a boat in it, that he wants to take the boat out of there. My 109 spot would probably fit his RV.
Yeah.
Is there any reason that we can't go to the office and swap our spots to give him what he needs?
Why, sure.
So he doesn't have to go on the waiting list?
You can come to me and we can talk about that tomorrow, and I can get with Carol and we can fix it in the computer system tomorrow if you want to. That's fine.
Okay, I just wanted to know that he's got a spot and now he's gonna go on a waiting list. This way he'd have a spot that would fit his RV, and his spot I'm sure will fit my trailer.
Okay, I can take care of that when we get down there, and I can get with Carol and she can change it right then in the computer system. So, there's no mix up.
Jerry, have you got a particular time you'd like to see us?
Usually, see, more out of town on me, so it'd have to be I'm gonna try to get Brenda's moved in the morning, so I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like after 10 o'clock that I can meet.
Say if we met you at the office at 10:30?
Yeah, that'd work, yeah.
Okay, Jim, is that all right with you? In the morning? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Bring Donuts.
Thanks, Jim.
Bring Donuts. Jerry, if I could have a minute, I'm fairly new here, my name's Bill Riley. I don't have a number, and I'm not blaming you because I moved in just in time to watch the cluster occur. And I wasn't happy with what happened, but Jerry's taken the bull by the horn, and I'm very happy with the direction that he's taken this committee. I think that we need to be in charge, which brings me to my point. I've talked to people going both ways. It's like, they need some money, I'll give you some money, whatever. Other people go, well, no, it's an amenity, and it is, but they're kind of tight in the wallet. In my opinion, and this is a grander scale, I don't even want to go to what it would cost you outside of our area to get a space. If you want to maintain control, I think that's where I want to land. If you want to maintain control of the RV compound, there are some bills that have to be met, and that takes money. I am not in the least bit, I'm not rich, for Pete's sake, I worked my whole life, but it takes money to operate. And I'm more than willing to, shoot, I'll let you check, well, I don't have a check now. But anyway, because I know it takes money to make anything work. That's the medium that we use to operate the machine. So anyway, I don't suspect that anybody in here is tied in the wallet. Because you're here. Anyway, I just wanted to echo that out there, and if anybody complains about, oh, they want $100 or they want, what, $3, I don't care, whatever they want. Just tell them it takes money to operate the machine. And if you don't want to put up the money to operate the machine, and we stay in charge, I suspect we're going to have something similar to what happened about a year ago. That was very ugly. I didn't want to move down here and see that happen. I don't ever want it to happen again. So I'll write my check as soon as I get a lot.
Yeah, I agree with him. Those, Joe, and I forget their names, they're all Joe. I realize it, but I'm trying to make them people work their butts off. They truly work. It was a good idea. The thought was there, and they got absolutely no cooperation. You want to have a lot of people show up, you start to do something, and then you'll see how many come in this door. They don't want a damn thing changed because a lot of them got more than one spot. The footwork was really none. It's what you can find. And anyway, hopefully that we could actually get it together, not make the people throw it out once they come up with a good idea. And, you know, it's sad, it's truly sad, the amount of work that was put in, it was gonna benefit everybody. And then all of a sudden, the office said, that was it, they pitched them out. That's wrong. That's really, really wrong. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Earlier today, I had a conversation with somebody, like, they were asking questions about, like, to be on the board, what would it take, or why there's arguing on the board and this kind of thing. I said, you think about it. Think about it. Next year is probably gonna be one of the easiest years you can have. Because when things get fixed, when things get running right, it makes it easier to do. That's why once the RV compound itself is straightened out, then it's a whole lot easier to do things. Like, my example would be like, when spots come available, like you, say for example, you put the boats out in the 500s to start with. Then once that's done, and you've got the boats there, and you've got the, say, outside, you got all the empty utility trailers, like landscaping trailers, and then the fence that goes back where the house is at, say you put all the cargo trailers there, and then all the fifth wheels and Class A's and stuff are in the middle, then it's easy to look down through there and know if something's out of place, or if you got an empty spot. So that makes it a whole lot easier to see. And then if somebody says, wait, well, like, if they upgrade or they sell their spot, not sell their spot, sell their unit, like Brenda did, then it was easy for me to like go in, because I go there every day, that it's easy for me to say, okay, y'all switch, if we can figure out the way to switch it, put a bigger unit in her spot, and then her having a small utility trailer or enclosed trailer go in a small spot, is working toward that. So that's what I'm talking about, Willie.
Yeah, the numbers that on the road, on the right-hand side that he's mentioning, I just asked Greg to help me out, and Friday we're gonna start fixing those, so that they line up where they're supposed to be. Now, to get back to Mr. Riley, this is right, we need to take care of our spot, write the check every a year, and split the RV compound, because we got 265 spots, only 90 people donated. I'm sure there's many more that could donate, even $25, $10 a month, whatever would help. So anybody that's willing to just put out a little bit of money there, write the check out to the RV compound, would be greatly appreciated.
Is there an account where there's money that's for the RV compound?
Yes, it's under donated funds, and strictly, it says RV compound, and it shows the donated funds, I'm sure. Yeah.
And how much does it cost to run the RV compound for a year?
Well, the only thing that's being taken out of there right now is just the utilities, the lights, and that's it. It's not the mowings took out or anything, it's just utilities so
Is
far.
there enough money in the account to cover that for any length of time?
Oh, yeah, there's over $10,000 in there.
10,000.
Yeah. Over 10,000 in there, so.
Okay. But we don't pay for anything else then, other than that?
No, the only things that come out of that is the lights, and if there's a pothole in the asphalt out there, Billy will put like, you can buy asphalt in a bag. Yes. And that's about $55 a bag, so sometimes he gets like 2 or 3 bags for stuff like that. Yeah.
Are the cameras currently working in the compound?
There's nobody in the compound working. Me and Billy's been the only one up there.
The cameras?
Oh, yes, the cameras are working, yeah. Yeah, they went out just a few weeks ago, and then we had IT people out there, and they fixed it.
My question to the cameras, who's reviewing them?
And how often, because there was a few years ago back, 2017, let's say, had a tire stolen off the trailer, found it on somebody's tow, got the sheriff involved. I didn't have the serial numbers off the tires to prove it. I got with Greg, he was gonna look at the thing, I was gone 6 weeks. He said it only stores it 30 days.
That's correct.
Okay, so who's reviewing that every 30 days?
Right now, unless things
Because I
have,
have no problem donating money to keep my equipment down there, but if nobody's looking at that, I get no answer back from Greg at that time, tells me he didn't even look at it.
okay, I know that, I think it's shown in two places. Billy sees it, and the guard shack is the only one to see it. So, they have to know about the incident to see it. And it does, most time if I'm right, it like rotates around every 30 days.
Yeah, all it does is just, after the 31st day, that first day of that, starts over, it's just deleted.
Okay, so who's watching it?
And it's automatic, it's in the software of the CDR.
Yeah, but if it's getting rid of the stuff and nobody's watching the DVR, I'm gone for 6 weeks, I come back 4 weeks, oh, that happened 3 weeks ago, I got no record of it.
But you got, how many cameras, 8 cameras down there?
Yeah, it's like,
I
yeah.
mean, I donated cameras right out of the hall, $40.
But I understand, well, you got 8 cameras, right, 8 cameras.
Cameras down there, so, times 30 days. Okay, so if something happens within that 30-day period, you have to go back and pinpoint where it's at. So if you come to that 31st day or come back whatever day you came back and found the problem, okay, it's kind of hard to go back through.
That's my point, somebody should be reviewing it on a regular basis, so that doesn't happen.
That's on the office.
Right, I'm not trying to solve the problem, I'm trying to resolve the problem. I mean, I used to help out back there all the time too.
No, no, it just takes a while. One of the things, and I'm interested that this gentleman made the comment, I have rented a lot of space on the outside. I'm renting a space right now for a pickup. I have a deal. The deal is only $137 a month. And that's the cheapest place around. And it's always been frustrating to me, whatever numbers you just laid out, almost 300 spots and less than 100 people. And in reference to the cameras are like a lock. They keep an honest man honest, and they may slow down a professional. But when less than 100 people are paying, and if you go to any compound and store, if they steal your entire RV, they steal your boat, they strip it, you know what coverage you have? They cover nothing. You're paying big money out on the street, believe me. I'd be happy to show you my $137 bill a month that gets debited.
I have my RV over at U-Haul, that's not my complaint. My complaint is that nobody's monitoring the camera.
I understand, but if you look at the workload these people have to carry, and if you look at the rate of pay they have, I'm amazed that we get as much accomplished as we get. Would you work for eight or $8.50 an hour that they work for? You have to take into account what you're paying for and what you're getting.
Okay, I just thought it'd be nice to have somebody review the tape every 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, when it comes to I will say that this about the payroll part, figuring out this budget and stuff like this, that you have like, what is it, there's like 29 people that work in this whole place that are getting like, going from like $8.65 to like $10 because the state mandated a minimum wage increase. So, But I do know that they see the cameras in the guard shack, and I'm working on something with, well, I won't tell it, but there's a motion sensor thing I'm working on for the RV compound. Because, Billy put it on the pole out there today or yesterday, that when something leaves out there, it comes on and stuff. So that's one of the things I'm looking at. Plus, when I say I go down there every day, I go down there every day. Sometimes I'm down there 3 times a day. I go in there, I go in the middle of the day, and then I go at like between 6 and 7 at night. Because if anybody knows me, I carry my Chihuahua with me, and we ride through the RV compound, and I check my trailer, and if I see anything out of ordinary, I'll ride all 3 lanes all around there. And if I see anything out of ordinary, trust me, I will call. Yes, back in back.
I just have one comment. When you write your check for the RV compound, it'll probably have to be made out to the BCPO, but in your memo field, be sure and put RV
That's
compound,
right.
so that the money goes to the RV compound. Other than that, it will go into the general fund.
That's right.
That's the way it goes.
When you write your checks, you say, when you write your check, make sure you put your RV compound in your memo section.
Okay, I do know when they, in this budget thing here, they talked about other ways to make money. They did put in there, I didn't, but the finance committee put in there, another way to raise money was like charge a $20 fee for the RV compound. That was one thing that would come up, that somebody will come up with later, but it's not gonna be me.
Jerry, one thing, this biannual, roadworthy thing that they're doing, anytime you cross the guard shack, like today, I pulled out of here and went to register. Make sure you get the date that you did, because the guard shack has you going in and out. This will take care of you, your biannual, going in and out. So it shows you're roadworthy.
All right, yeah, okay. Anybody else has a question? If y'all want to adjourn this meeting, you're gonna be president, right? Okay. We're going to have a walkthrough to check license tags. It's the 13th. That's right, it'll be in the morning, because I'll go with you and this kind of thing. I'll be up there with you.
What day of the week is it?
Wednesday.
Okay, we always used to do it on Wednesday, so.
Yeah.
Sure you wanna do it on the 13th?
And what's happening the 13th?
Just the 13th.
I know we're having
You have your town hall meeting at 13th, or that public hearing.
no, I'll do it in the morning. I ain't worried about that.
Okay, all right.
On my walking it. All right, we'll adjourn this meeting. I appreciate everybody coming out. Like I said, it had to be tonight because, we wanted to make sure that the snowbirds got it and it was televised. That was the only reason why it was 7 o'clock. And so we're going to adjourn this meeting, and I want to thank, is there any questions on there, by the way?
No.
Okay, so we'll adjourn this meeting, and I thank you, appreciate it.
No, thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, thank you.